is none. You're my help, you're my shield, you're my keeper. There is no one else.
There is no one like you.
If all I have is you, I've got something more than gold. I tell it to the world, Jesus is more than gold. If all I have is you, I have something more than gold. Oh, tell it to the world, Jesus is more than. If all I have is all I have, I've got something. If all I have is you, I'll tell it to the world. If all I have is you, I've got something more than gold.
I'll tell it to
The world,
Jesus is more than gold.
if all I have is you,
All I have is Jesus. I've got something more than gold. I'll tell it to the world. Jesus is more than gold.
something more than gold. I've got something more. Something more than gold, something more.
I've got
Yeah.
something more.
If all I have is you,
All I have is Jesus. I've got something more than gold. I'll tell it to the world. Jesus is more than gold.
hallelujah. Bless your name because you are good. Bless you because you are great. Thank you for your holy. Thank you for your might. Thank you for your oil upon our heads. Thank you for the gathering of your saints. Bless you, Jesus. We give you all the praise. Everything to us, your shield, your maker, your helper. If all I have is only you, that's something more than gold. I'll tell it to the world. I want more. Ifonaya Jesus Sibalamo. Da 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 da. Awalamo. Ifonaya Jesus Sibalamo. I want to hear us from the crowd. Awalamo, Ifonaya Jesus Sebo. Come on, everyone. Awalamo, awalamo. You're my shield, you're my helper. Your sustainer, my covering. There's no one like you, Daddy. Da, da, da. There's no one like you, ba 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 ba. Awalamo.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see you. Let's have a seat. DSF people, how was you people's retreat? Chigos, yeah, you got the wear senior man uniform, abi? You bloody undergraduate. How was Fresh Oil Conference? Fair enough. Okay, so I think today I can finally fulfill my threat to teach the portrait of a narcissist. So this will probably be the first time that I'm talking to a Christian gathering and I'm not exactly teaching scriptures. I don't know why. Maybe somebody will find out why sometimes in the future. But for like 1 month now, it's been on my mind that I have to teach this thing. Now, this is Nigeria. If I leave you people to go and find out this thing now from a counselor, a psychotherapist, I don't think up to 1% of Nigerians see a psychotherapist, a counselor, a psychiatrist their entire life. I don't think up to 1% of Nigerians. I mean, those are all the jobs of pastors over here. I mean, psychiatric, beauty, counseling, psychotherapy, those are all pastoral duties in Nigeria. Including financial advisor. Those are all pastoral duties. In fact, in some cases, they are also microfinance banks. And if they refuse to double up in their role as human rights activists, we start to drag them on Facebook. So, and because I have seen a lot of people in marriages to people with personality disorders, and you can't counsel people out of personality disorders. It doesn't work. You cannot cast it out. It's not a demon. So if anything is going to be done to solve it, there are about 10 personality disorders, by the way, in 3 different groups. About 10 of them that I saw, maybe there are more, but I saw about 10 of them mainly in like 3 categories and all that. But the one that I found the most disturbing is the one I want to talk about. And at least, so you don't necessarily expect an exhaustive exposition on this personality disorder I'm going to talk about. I'll probably talk about 3, but majorly, I actually want to talk about the narcissist, the narcissistic personality disorder. Reason being that is the most disturbing of the lot as far as I have seen. That's the most manipulative of the lot. And that's the most dangerous of the lot, in my opinion. That's the most dangerous of the lot, in my opinion. So that is the reason I picked on that one to teach. So please, let's share the link. The link should be on the group now. So let's share the link so that those who need to join online can access it. So it's the reason I picked it. And again, if there's anyone that I found that is most difficult to, should I say, to manage, it is this one. So even I spoke with psychiatrists, and most of them were not very hopeful about the possibility of fixing this person. In fact, an attempt to fix a narcissist gets them irritated, and you soon find out why. So your attempt to fix them is a problem. You will call it help. The violence with which they will respond to you will shock you. So, you see why you want to learn about this and not engage. Because once you engage and you get entangled, you shall be very sorry for yourself. In fact, before I teach you about the disorder, no, let me just go on. So I made a long list of the various features of the narcissistic personality disorder. And Now, do not be in a hurry to pin this on someone or pin it on yourself. Don't be in a hurry to pin it on anyone. Except it's a chronic and a persistent feature of the person. The person is persistently like this. The person is always like this. So that somebody is having a bad day and behave a certain way is not an excuse to pin a personality disorder on someone. Out of what we are going to describe, somebody can have one or two bad behavior. Out of what we are about to list, it does not therefore mean that the person has a personality disorder. Before we walk out of here, and every proud person you see is a narcissist. Calm down. It's not that deep. So, number one, top of the list of the feature of somebody with narcissistic personality disorder is that the person lacks empathy. Lack of empathy. This guy has no business with empathy. And one of the ways they express their lack of empathy is that they exploit other people's emotion. They exploit other people emotionally, mentally, well, if they get the chance, why not? Financially. And they exploit your sense of guilt and shame. Everything they can exploit, they exploit. They are very good at taking advantage of people. And one of the reasons that comes easily for them is because they are not empathetic people. Now, there are people on the other end of the divide who are extremely empathetic. Those ones don't only sympathize with you, they know how to feel what you are feeling. If a narcissist catches that kind of person, he will so exploit the hell out of them. So, they constantly remind you of your obligations to them. They think everybody has an obligation to them. They think you owe them. They are very entitled people. You owe them attention. You owe them gifts. You owe them applause. You owe them encouragement. You must always be, you must be on their side. You must share their joy. You must share their anger. You must share their pain. You must share everything because you owe them. That is number one. The list is long, so I can't spend a lot of time on anyone. Number two, they think they deserve special treatment given to them and them alone. Similar to being entitled. They think they deserve special treatment. And this special treatment is only enjoyed to the extent to which they are the only one getting it. So if they are your friends, you can't be loving them and be loving two other persons. I'm not even I say friends, you're not trying to marry them. They are just your friends. You will not get along very well with them. If alongside with them, you have several other friends that you are loving and you care about, and the friendship will have problem. They should get all the attention. They should get all the special treatment. The preferential treatment is only valuable to the extent to which they are the only one getting it. Once any other person is getting it, the treatment has become worthless. It doesn't count for anything anymore. They are very grandiose in their thinking. They harbor very high opinions of themselves. They consider themselves very important. They constantly need to be admired. If they are not being admired, if they are not the center of attraction, there's a problem. They have a constant desire for admiration, for applause. You have to be constantly telling them how beautiful they are, how awesome they are. You have to constantly just be admired. Something that lets them know that they have your attention. Something that lets them know that they command your respect. Something that lets them know that their presence is acknowledged. They have to constantly be admired. You know the character, how many of you watch wrestling? You know the character of Roman Reigns? That is a very good example. Acknowledge me. Now that's not pride. That is, by the way, I said character intentionally because it's acting a role. It's not necessary. Nobody goes about on the street saying acknowledge me. So the guy is acting. So I said the character for a reason. That character is. So any other person trying to rise and trying to measure up with them is a problem, is a threat. Because now they have to also now be acknowledging you while acknowledging them. Once any other person is getting acknowledged, there's a problem. So you see, they are very good at upstaging people. So you can be celebrating birthday, for instance, and you are their friend. And everybody is looking at you and not looking at them. If they have to borrow money to buy clothing that are better than yours, so that when they arrive, everybody will stop looking at you, the celebrant, and start looking at them, they will do exactly that. Whatever gets them attention and admiration and acknowledgement is exactly what they will do. So they have a sense of perceived superior attractiveness. And they are very prone to tantrums and anger when they don't get their way. If things does not go the way they want it to go, or the way they believe it should go, if things does not happen according to their plan, there shall be tantrums. They are actually, now they have the image of confident people. To somebody that is not confident, if you are a timid person, a narcissist will appear to you like a confident person. But a confident person can see through them and know that this is this is a child in an adult body. That is why it's important that you as a person work on your mind. If you are a timid person, if you by yourself have a low self-esteem, people with personality disorders will start looking like important people to you because of how they carry themselves. They know how to carry themselves like the happening thing, like the next big thing. So, they are very prone to tantrums and anger when they don't get their way. So if you and them have a disagreement, you are wrong. You are statutorily wrong because they have a grandiose idea of their intelligence, their attractiveness, their strength. If they ever acknowledge that they are wrong, that destroys their sense of grandeur. And they can't give that up. It is ingrained in their personality. It's not a mental problem. It's actually easier to treat a mental illness than to deal with a personality disorder, because personality disorder is ingrained. The person has grown up with it over time. Most psychologists believe that people begin to develop that thing from late childhood. As they're approaching adolescence, that's when they begin to develop it. And it has been worsened by the advent of social media. Because there is no generation like this one that has gotten a chance to record themselves while doing absolutely nothing. Now we have an Olodo uprising, like somebody put it. People with empty skulls. Children that should be in secondary school, they should be flogging them for coming late. They should be picking pin for not doing their assignment. They are now celebrities all over the place. They have 30 million followers. I don't have a problem with them. It is people following them I would like to ask a question or two. Like, can you explain to me why you follow this guy? I'm not angry with you. I'm just curious. Can you walk me through your thought pattern? What were you hoping to benefit from following this guy? Because the guy says nothing intelligent, does nothing intelligent, but you follow him. This is someone you should be feeling sorry for. This is a teenager that does not have sense. He's going to grow into a nuisance of an adult. You should be feeling sorry for him. You are encouraging him with your followership. And once money meets foolishness, it's difficult to get rid of foolishness. Because foolishness has just been rewarded. You cannot ask me to get rid of something that has been rewarded and that is being rewarded. It's not possible. How do you tell Pella to go to school? And do what? How do you tell that boy that cannot speak English that what is that guy? Now that you have followership, can you get around to doing something that actually makes sense? Say, so why should I do something that makes sense? I gather all this followership on the back of doing something that doesn't make sense. Then I should leave that thing that gathered them and go and start doing something that makes sense. You make it make sense. So you see the problem with rewarding foolishness. Once foolishness has been rewarded, foolishness has been reinforced. You can no more eliminate that foolishness because now money has met foolishness. So foolishness has just been perpetuated. But let me not get hung up on foolish. I'm just saying that they are prone to tantrums when they don't get their way. Some of you probably have friends who... Now, they are willing to dole out criticisms, but they are hypersensitive to criticisms. They have a very critical spirit. With every solution you provide, they have a problem with it. I mean, if there's a problem, you are trying to solve it. You are making recommendations. You don't want to be in a meeting with those kind of people. They are very tiring. You people don't make progress in that meeting. Because for every solution somebody prescribes, so long as they are not the one prescribing the solution, they will show you the problem with that solution. They must make a nonsense of anything that makes any other person important apart from them. But they, on the other hand, cannot stand criticism. Don't forget, they have a very grand idea of themselves. So if you criticize them and they accept that your point of criticism, what you are saying is that they are not as awesome and as amazing as they think they are. To take that from you is to destroy the entire image that they have built in their head, and they will not take it. So, they are very generous with criticism, but they don't take it. They never do. They don't take responsibility when they hurt others. They can hardly even fake accountability. Now, there are those who can pretend that they are sorry. These people are not even, they can't even pretend like they are sorry. So, if they hurt you, either intentionally or unintentionally, they will look for a way to go about it that you will be the one that will apologize. They will explain to you why that thing happened the way it happened and why it is your fault that it happened. And therefore, you owe them an apology. But that they will take responsibility for the pain or the hurt they have caused you. Go possible. Cannot happen. Don't just worry. Don't expect it. It won't happen. There are real people who actually function like this. I know one in real life. The name wants to fall out of my mouth like this, but no, I refuse. I mean, this person functions like this functioning like this for, so it's not like a once in a while behavior. Very consistent and persistent and insistent and enduring in this behavior that I'm describing. A real human being is alive and speaks in tongues. They are always the victims. Even when they hurt you, they will gaslight you into apologizing to them because they are always the victim. So they are very skilled at playing the victim card. So let's say, for instance, during their own birthday, let's say there are two girls. Both of them are friends. During their own birthday, you did whatever it is people do for each other during birthday, friends do for each other during birthday. During your own birthday, they forget. Guess who will apologize? You. They will make sure of it. In fact, they can even start by saying, when my own birthday was coming, I started talking about it from the beginning of the month, even though the birthday was on the 27th. I was reminding you every day. I was talking about it. When I wanted to go and buy clothes, I took you. We went to buy clothes together. When I wanted to go and buy shoe for the birthday shoot, I took you, went to buy it together. But now it reached your turn now. You did not remind me of the birthday. You didn't say anything about it. You just kept quiet as if I don't exist. And now you are angry that I did not wish you happy birthday and I did not do something for you. Was that how I treated you during my own birthday? I treated you like a friend. I carried you along in everything I was doing. You did not carry me along. I know you have been looking for excuse for me to forget the birthday so that you can now make me look like a bad friend. I know that's what you are trying to do. Sure, you have achieved it now. You have achieved it, no problem. I'm the bad friend. Now, they were the one that forgot your birthday. But whose fault is it now? Your fault. They are very skilled at making themselves the victim and you the villain. Very skilled every time, effortlessly. In the movie, they are always the victim. Now, they can't stand confident people because they have to belittle others to assert themselves. So when they meet people who are genuinely confident, there are people who fake confidence, but there are people who are genuinely confident. You can't convince them that they are not who they know they are. You can't. In fact, there are people that are so confident, the size of anybody does not sway them. They are respectful, but no matter who you are, what they believe is what they believe. They are going to insist on it. Now, they will not necessarily refuse to bow to superior arguments. If you have something more intelligent to say, it's not like they will refuse to listen. But generally speaking, they are not just going to bow to you because of your size. They will not throw away their opinion and adopt yours because you are the more popular guy or you are the bigger guy. They will not. Some people are that confident. Now, when people with narcissistic personality disorder meet those kind of persons, those kind of people irritate them. Those kind of people will be labeled proud. Because that person is harder to manipulate. That person does not care whether you like him or not. And if you're in that space where you don't care whether somebody likes you or not, a narcissist cannot enjoy your company. You're not a good person. You won't. Anybody a narcissist cannot continue to manipulate. He cannot continue to enjoy their company. You need to be in that space where you are manipulatable, if there's any such word. You have to be consistently available for manipulation. Otherwise, you and them cannot flow. And a confident person is not in that space that they can manipulate, so they won't like you. So, it's also important to them that they can belittle others to build their own self-esteem. So, more or less like stealing blocks from your building to complete mine. So, if you continue to be confident around them, how will they maintain their status as the grandiose, almighty, amazing, awesome one? Because now, you are now also awesome, and they now have to acknowledge you. And what does that now do to them who are supposed to be the only building that are looming large and high? I mean, they have to be the only awesome one in the room. So if any other person shows up with an air of confidence, you are a nuisance in their space. They have to be the only one looking confident. It's very important to them. They are too wrapped up in their own opinions to listen. Every conversation to them is a platform to market their amazing ideas. So, even when you are talking and they are seemingly listening to you, they are not listening to you for the purpose of evaluating what you are saying and consider adopting it, if it makes sense. No. They are listening to you for the purpose of finding what is wrong with what you are saying. So they can isolate that and use that tiny portion. If you have said like 100 things, they will find that one that is not very accurate in their own opinion. And that one will be the basis upon which they rubbish the remaining 99 so that they can now exalt their own amazing opinion above all the rubbish you have been saying since. Those are actually real human beings. I hope none of you is dating any rubbish that looks like that. Why convincing yourself that you will change him or you will change her? You will not, oh. See, I read a couple of materials to just distill this thing into simple terms like this. And listen to quite a number of people on the subject, even ask psychiatrists on ground. And I thought, was it last week I was telling you? I asked one consultant psychiatrist, I said, what if somebody has already married? What if somebody has already married a narcissist? The man laughed. He said, ó máa remain síbẹ̀ ni o, ó máa manage ẹ̀. Torí àwọn people yẹn wọn kì í change o. Now, in case you don't understand Yoruba, he said the person will stay in the marriage, the person will manage it like that, because those people, they don't change. So I was now asking, so what if the person gets psychiatric attention, maybe a psychotherapist, a clinical psychologist, or whoever is responsible for taking care of their time? He said the problem is that you have to first of all convince them that there's something wrong with them. He said, but they have a certain image of themselves. In their mind, they are on a certain pedestal. They consider themselves like as a gift to humanity. So you are blessed to have them as friends or to have them as partner, whatever you people are to each other. So how you plan to explain to them that something is wrong with them and they need help? That is the problem. Because part of the recommendation of psychologists in dealing with these people is that don't call them out. That once you call them out, there will be war. Have you ever, maybe in movies or even in real life, heard of somebody who is married to a certain person, and at some point the man locks the woman in the house permanently, the woman never comes out? Very often, it is a narcissist they are dealing with. Because they have an idea of how they are such a gift to humanity, and anybody that comes in contact with them is one of the lucky few. Once you say or do anything that punctures hole into that grandiose idea that they have, there is nothing they will not do to ensure you don't get away with that foolishness you just practiced. So even calling them out is dangerous. That is why they pour acid on some people. So the man was explaining to me that, say, if you even abhor the idea of calling them out, that there's something wrong with them, it's a problem. So it is not like it's totally impossible to help them. It is that it's difficult to convince them that they need help. So, if you find somebody that functions like this, consistently so, chronically so, enduringly so, do not abhor the foolish idea of I will change him or I will change her. No, you won't. Every chance they get to participate in a conversation, either it's a group conversation or in any form of interpersonal relationship, for them it's an opportunity to again display their amazing features and their overwhelming knowledge and the depth of wisdom that they possess over and above every other person in the audience. So they don't ever listen for the purpose of imbibing what somebody is saying. They only listen for the purpose of defeating what you are saying. So imagine being in a relationship with somebody that is incapable of listening for the purpose of understanding. You only listen for the purpose of winning a competition, an argument competition. Why the aim at the end of the day is that his own superior opinion will be crowned as Lord of thoughts. There is no overcoming such madness. Don't start. It's better to just not start. Resist the urge to be unfortunate. Amen? They are very phony. They are hollow people. They are people, they generally lack integrity because their private life and their public life don't match. So they may be broke. But remember, they are the grand ones. They have to consistently look amazing outside. If they have to borrow to maintain the image, they will. If they have to steal and lie and cheat to maintain the image, they will do it. Whatever they have to do to service to maintain their outward appearance as the ground one. That's exactly what they are going to do. So there are people who generally have double lives. They have a private life, they have a public life, but the public life is more important to them than the private life. Because they live for public opinion, they live for applause, they live for admiration, they live for appreciation, they live for, they live for attention. So their public life must be intact. Whatever is happening to their private life, we'll deal with it later, but you see that their public life must be seen to be awesome every time. They are very competitive. They will do whatever it takes to get ahead. Everything for them is a competition. The hair on their head is for the purpose of competition. The clothes they wear is for competition. Everything for them must be a status conferrer. Some of them studied courses for the purpose of competition. Everything for them is a competition. And if they have to lie to get ahead of you, they will do that. So if this person is a co-worker, in fact, maybe I should just put this into it straight up. They are very good at stealing other people's applause.